Be honest with yourself. How many times have you done the right thing thinking it would pay off, only to watch someone else, someone who didn't care about fairness, take everything you deserved? You worked harder, but someone less competent got the promotion. You were loyal, but they left you for someone more exciting. You helped others, but when you needed help, no one was there. And at some point, you started to wonder, was I played? They told you that being good was the key to success, that if you were kind, honest, and hardworking, life would reward you. But look around. Is that what really happens? The ones who lie, manipulate, and bend the rules, they're the ones who win. Meanwhile, the people who actually care, who give, who sacrifice, they're the ones who get used. Arthur Schopenhauer saw this truth before you did. He understood that morality isn't some universal law, it's a tool used by the powerful to keep people obedient, to make sure that while you play fair, they take everything. And once you see what he saw, you will never want to be a good person ever again. Not because you should become cruel, but because you should never let morality be used against you. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just understand the truth, you'll finally know how to stop being played. Let's begin. Think about the kindest person you know. Maybe it's you. The one who always listens. The one who helps without expecting anything in return. The one who puts others first. Now ask yourself, are they winning in life? Are they the ones in power? Are they the ones making the big decisions? Are they the ones who get what they truly deserve? Or are they the ones being overlooked, used, and discarded? Here's the hard truth. Being good doesn't guarantee respect. It often guarantees exploitation. Because when you're kind, people assume you'll always be available. When you're selfless, people assume you don't need anything in return. When you play fair, people who don't use that against you. You've seen this before. The worker who never says no, who stays late, who does more than asked, yet it's his lazy coworker who gets the promotion. The person who always supports their friends, yet when they need help, suddenly no one has time. The loyal partner who gives everything only to be taken for granted, ignored, or replaced. And when good people suffer, they ask themselves, why does this keep happening? Because no one told them the truth. No one told them that niceness is not power, that fairness is not a currency the world respects, that the more you give without demanding, the more people take without asking. Schopenhauer understood this long before you did. He saw that morality is not some divine law, it's a human invention. And those who understand this don't necessarily reject morality, they use it. Because while you were taught to play fair, they were taught to play smart. And that's why you feel stuck, because deep down, you believe the system should reward you for doing the right thing, but the system doesn't care. And if you don't realize that, you'll keep playing a game that was never designed for you to win. So now ask yourself, how much longer are you willing to play by rules that only hold you back? Because what Schopenhauer discovered will make you see morality in a way you never have before. And once you understand it, you'll never see being good the same way again. If the world were truly fair, the best people would be the most successful. The hardest workers would be the wealthiest. The most loyal partners would be the most loved. The most honest leaders would be the ones in power. But that's not how the world works. Arthur Schopenhauer understood this long before you did. He saw through the illusion, the comforting lie that says do good and good will come back to you. He realized that life isn't driven by morality, it's driven by will, the will to life. Schopenhauer believed that every living being is controlled by a blind, relentless force, the drive to survive, dominate, and expand. Not to be fair, not to be good, just to persist. And here's the brutal part. Morality was never meant to guide this will. It was meant to control you. Think about it. A lion doesn't ask for permission before it hunts. A storm doesn't apologize for its destruction. Nature rewards strength, not fairness. And human society, despite all its rules and ideals, works the same way. Who rises to power? The selfless or the strategic? Who gets what they want? The ones who wait their turn or the ones who take it? Who shapes history? The ones who obey or the ones who impose their will? Schopenhauer saw this pattern everywhere. He understood that morality is a social construct, one that serves those in power, not the ones who follow it. And the worst part, the more virtuous you are, the more easily you can be controlled. Because when you believe life should be fair, you hesitate. When you assume kindness will be rewarded, you let others take advantage of you. When you wait for justice, you waste time that others are using to get ahead. The truth is, the world doesn't reward goodness. It rewards those who understand the game. That's why the most moral people often end up struggling. They live in a world that operates by different rules than the ones they were taught. And unless you wake up to this, you'll spend your whole life playing by rules that were never designed for you to win. So now, the real question is, if morality doesn't rule the world, then who does? Because once you understand that, you'll see exactly why you were trained to be good, and who truly benefits from it. And once you do, you'll never see morality the same way again. Have you ever wondered why you were taught to be good? Since childhood, you were told to share, to be kind, to wait your turn, to put others first. You were told that selfishness is wrong, that ambition is dangerous, that wanting too much makes you a bad person. But look at the people who told you this. Do the rich and powerful live by these rules? Do politicians, CEOs, and world leaders put others first? Do they sacrifice their own interests for fairness? Or do they do whatever it takes to win while telling you to stay in your place? Here's the truth. Morality is not a universal law. It's a tool designed to keep people obedient, predictable, and easy to control. Because think about it, what happens when people believe that being good is its own reward? They stop questioning. They stop fighting for more. They become workers, not leaders, followers, not rulers. This is why history is filled with kings and emperors who preached humility while living in excess. It's why religions glorify suffering and self-sacrifice while their highest figures live in wealth and power. It's why corporations tell you to be a team player while the executives take all the profits. Goodness, as you were taught, was never about making the world better. It was about making you easier to control. And here's where it gets even worse. People don't just push morality on you, they punish you the moment you break the script. Try saying no more often. Try demanding more instead of settling. Try putting your own needs first. Watch how quickly people turn on you. The same friends who relied on you will call you selfish. The same workplace that took advantage of you will say you're not a team player. The same family members who always needed favors will guilt trip you for having boundaries, because the second you stop playing by their rules, they lose control over you. Schopenhauer saw this manipulation for what it was. He understood that those who blindly follow morality become prisoners of it, while those who see through it use it to their advantage. So now ask yourself, who actually benefits from you being a good person? Because if morality was really about making the world better, why do the most powerful people never follow it? Once you answer that question, you'll understand why you were trained to be good, and why the people who trained you never lived by the same rules. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. But now, a harder question remains. Can you escape this system without becoming just like them? Because Schopenhauer had an answer for that too, and it's not what you think. By now, you see the truth. Goodness, as you were taught, was never about making life better for you. It was about making you easier to control. So what now? If morality is a tool of manipulation, does that mean you have to abandon it completely? Does escaping this system mean becoming ruthless, selfish, and cruel? Schopenhauer's answer was surprising. No, you don't have to become one of them, but you do have to stop being a pawn. See, most people believe they only have two choices. 1, be good and get used. 2, be ruthless and win. But there's a third path. Schopenhauer called it detachment. It's the ability to step outside the illusions society has placed on you, to see morality not as an obligation, but as a choice. Detachment means this: you can be kind, but only when it serves a purpose. You can be fair, but never at your own expense. You can help others, but never in a way that makes you weaker. Because true power doesn't come from being good or bad, it comes from being in control. The powerful don't reject morality, they use it strategically. They know when to appear generous, when to appear compassionate, when to appear righteous, but they never let those things weaken them. And that's what you need to learn. Most people who wake up to the truth go in the wrong direction. They think, if being good made me weak, then I'll be bad. But that's just another form of slavery, letting your actions be dictated by what others expect of you. The real answer? You don't have to be good. You don't have to be bad. You just have to be free. Free from the guilt that made you hesitate, free from the illusions that kept you obedient, free from the game that was never designed for you to win. Because now you know the rules, and once you know them, you don't have to follow them. You can use them. So what does that mean for your life? It means you stop seeking validation for being good. It means you stop sacrificing yourself for people who wouldn't do the same for you. It means you stop waiting for fairness and start creating your own path. Schopenhauer saw the world as it really is: cold, indifferent, ruled by power, not virtue. But instead of becoming bitter, he became something else: untouchable. Because once you detach from the illusions, once you stop expecting the world to be fair, you become unstoppable. So now the question isn't whether or not you see the truth. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Because if you've made it this far, you're already different from the rest, and what comes next will determine everything. You've seen the truth, you can't unsee it, you now understand why the world doesn't reward goodness, why the system was designed to keep you obedient, why the people who told you to be selfless never lived by their own advice. So now, you stand at a crossroads. You can go back to believing in a just world, hoping that kindness and fairness alone will get you what you want. But deep down, you know the truth. Hope is not a strategy, or you can choose something different. You can stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop expecting a world that doesn't exist. This doesn't mean becoming ruthless. It doesn't mean abandoning morality, it means taking control, understanding power, learning to play the game on your own terms. Because power itself isn't evil, but leaving it only in the hands of the corrupt, that is. The question now isn't whether or not the system is rigged. You already know it is. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Because once you wake up, once you see reality for what it is, there is no going back. This is only the beginning.